I was probably around 14 or 15. Why is it always me? Didn't feel beautiful, but like genuinely growing up, I was not happy. I wanted to change. I watched Jennifer's Body this weekend, and let me just add, I'm very late to the party, clearly. As I was watching it, I was also writing down in my notes. One of the things I picked up on was when I was growing up, I thought beautiful people were just confident, and that is just something that is automatic to them. They don't have to work for it. They don't have to fake it till they make it. They're just confident because they're pretty enough. I would like to say I was a late bloomer. I felt that when I was in school, everyone was ahead of me and everyone had something to go and talk about or to do or was experiencing. I felt left behind in the sense that I just felt like I wasn't pretty enough, and therefore I didn't have enough confidence to really put myself out there and really give myself a chance to experience said things. So today we're going to be talking about that. I thought my life genuinely hadn't started. I remember being the age 13 and waiting until I hit another milestone, which for me was 16, and waiting until I was 18, and now eventually waiting until I'm 20. And every single year, I would just be waiting for that so-called glow up to kick in and to really just love myself and really just be confident and be this girl that I saw everyone else being. Everyone seemed to know themselves. Everyone was experiencing, trying new things. People had their whole lives together. We'd go into shops and everyone would be like, oh, you look so much older. And I got told so much that I have a baby face. Oh, you look like a child and you're so cute. Nothing wrong with the compliment cute, but as I'm saying, I just got so many diminishing compliments, backhanded compliments. I was running with it, but I never really truly felt beautiful. That sounds so like Disney Channel, like I didn't feel beautiful, but genuinely growing up, I did not. I was a late bloomer. I didn't bloom into the girl I am now until about a year ago. Obviously I'm joking, but you know what I'm trying to say? I just felt like everyone was really hitting their woman peak at the ripe age of 15. And I was just there. So is it gonna kick in, or
are they on a way, or
I was just watching everyone know who they were, understand their worth, and doing grown-up activities. And I just could not relate. I did not relate. And I was just trying to figure out who I was. But I thought everybody else had themselves figured out. So I was like, I need to rush this process. I need to know who I am by tomorrow. And I need to be that girl by next week. It don't work like that. And I could definitely proudly say that if younger me was to see me now, I'd be hella proud of myself. But in the moment, I was just like, damn, why is it always me? I had this invisible checklist in my head, which I think gets longer year by year when I figure out a new insecurity or a new thing that I gotta fix. At first, in COVID, it was weight loss, which, mind you, I was probably around 14 or 15. I didn't need to be doing all of the things I was doing back then, the Chloe Tings from morning till night. Girl, focus on your schoolwork. But that was the first thing, and then it was clear skin, and then it was clothes, and then it was hair, and then it was makeup, and it just kept, the list was extensive, and it was invisible, and it was only accessible to me. But I was holding myself to my own harsh standards that it was just so unfair. You really weren't gonna win. Sorry to tell you. And the funniest thing is that I really thought that once I had done all of these things, the confidence would just hit. I would have just been literally that girl. Sure. And the funny thing is, if you met me back then, and I feel like I do always say this, but you would genuinely feel like, oh, she's so confident, because I was such a loud personality. I was so funny. Don't worry, I still am funny. But I was just such a loud, bubbly type of gal. Always joking, always talking to everyone, trying to be the class clown, but still educated and smart. I was really on these bitches. I need to stop. But my point is, I felt like this, what I just explained in the beginning of this video, whilst keeping the biggest front known to man. I really rarely let people know how I genuinely felt, but the amount of videos I have on my Snapchat of me just crying or ranting or just verbally explaining how I was not happy, I wanted to change, I wanted this gone by tomorrow. And it was just a whole lot of standards that I was really just, it really was just me against me, and I was never gonna win, unfortunately. And I think I got really good at distracting people. I felt that if people were distracted by, let's say, my humor and the jokes and how funny I was, then they wouldn't really try and dig deep into why she liked this or the actual conversation, because talking about feelings can be really hard. It's definitely something that I've learned to become better at and express how I feel openly. But definitely to a 14-year-old girl who all they want is to look like the next chick, trying to tell them that you're gonna be fine, it's okay, it ain't gonna work. It's really not gonna work. And that is when a lot of self-improvement and self-growth comes into play. But we're gonna talk about that later. Don't get ahead of yourself. We're gonna touch on that. I remember certain moments I would feel so insecure and everyone would be laughing at a joke that maybe I made or I assisted. Everyone would be joking, laughing. I'm laughing as well. But in my head, I'm really thinking, I really hope they're not laughing at me. And I'm smiling, but it is sad. And I just think it's so hurtful to know that I really sat there overthinking every little interaction, every little thing I was doing. And it sucks. It really does suck, because I feel like I robbed myself of my teenage life of just overthinking and living in self-doubt and being insecure and trying to cover up. I don't know what I was covering up, because I really was a cool person. Still, I was a really cool person back then, but I don't know what I was really trying to cover up for real, but it sucks. And just a little disclaimer. You might be asking, so what were you jealous of? Are you jealous of these pretty girls, their bodies, the way they have money, they do that? What's really a problem here? And I don't think I was necessarily jealous of pretty girls, because at the end of the day, I've always been that type of girl. If you look good, you look good, and I'm gonna tell you, you look good. And I was always like that. So I don't think I was jealous of the girls particularly. I think I was jealous of what they got to experience, how it felt to be like that, what their day-to-day life was, because I thought being this pretty girl who's just bloomed at the ripe age of 16, it just must be amazing. You must have no thoughts in your head. Genuinely, you must not be insecure at all, which is further from the truth, because everyone struggles. But at the time, I wasn't thinking a pretty girl. Like, what problems could you have? What doubts, man? What insecurities could you have? Baby, everybody has insecurity. Let me tell you that for right. Sorry. My cousin picked me up on my accent. She was like, why do you always do like an American accent in the movies? I don't know. I actually don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you, but I don't. So anyways, back to my point. I thought being pretty just meant that you were accepted, admired, loved, respected, nurtured. Everybody wants to be with a pretty girl. That's what I've just really thought life was amazing for people. Being a so-called late bloomer, I did not feel that. I did not feel accepted. I don't feel loved. I don't feel admired. And as much as I do love my friends, and they were amazing friends to me back then, I just didn't feel that way. And not a lot of things could have probably changed it back then. Instead of, the only thing that really could have changed it was loving myself. But regardless of the point, I was just chasing this validation of, I just want to be pretty. I just want to be loved. I just want to be enough. I want to be confident. And that's only going to come if I'm pretty. And being pretty means I need to do XYZ. That was genuinely my thought process growing up. And I don't even think I came out of that thought process until I was 18, genuinely. So my whole teenage life, I thought that way. So if you met me between the ages of 11 and 18, now you know what I was thinking. Gee. And I think that's why Jennifer's body really stuck out to me, because everyone saw her as a pretty angel, Victoria's Secret modelistic. Mate, I've run out of fucking compliments. But everyone saw her as just being desired by everyone, which in return obviously should mean that she was confident. But was she? I still remember this very particular scene of her rubbing her makeup on, and it's so realistic, because it's like you are putting on a facade. She's not happy with herself. And obviously, say what you want to say about the whole point of the actual story. Of course, she's flipping decayed. Also, there is a lot of serious topics that comes up in that film with the men and the sacrifice. It's a really good film, to be fair. To be able to dissect it and analyze it is a really good film. But I'm just taking that specific point of her insecurity and confidence and how it's almost blurred. And to everyone else, she's this snowflake what did she call herself? Snowflake queen. She isn't confident and she constantly needs to be validated and admired for her to even feel an ounce of validation. And that is not what being confident should be about. Basically, you don't need to seek the validation of other people to feel confident in yourself. And you're gonna hate when I tell you this, but you genuinely have to love yourself first. And it's hard, it's a process, it takes time. And sometimes you gotta do things like that you don't really wanna do. But once you understand yourself better, genuinely, life gets better. The grass is greener on that side, I promise you that. And talking about that, I absolutely think pretty privilege exists. I think it is. I'm not trying to deny that being this popular, pretty, admirable girl doesn't get you more opportunities, more attention, more compliments, and people are just overall kinder to you. I found that in my personal experience, when I started taking care of myself and doing a lot of things that were just good for myself, to be honest, but in return just made me a prettier person. Definitely the way people treat you is, oh my gosh, it's insane. But the way people treat you, it shouldn't be a determining factor on how you live your life and how confident you are. Inside, pour into your own cup, it becomes so much easier to be confident. Before, if I was to walk in a room, I would probably have my head down, not looking at anyone. A lot of people say the whole fake it till we make it. My opinion has never changed on that. But what I'm trying to say is, if I was to walk into a room still very insecure, not loving myself, think and comparing myself, and I was to fake it, keep my head up and pretend to be confident, the confidence wouldn't just come out, it wouldn't just roar out of me and now I'm just like this confident person. That would not be the case. I'd actually probably be even more insecure than I've now done that. The only way is to love yourself. And that sounds so corny. And I might probably do a video on ways to pour into your own cup, ways that I've anyways learned to love myself. There's just so many things. For example, just try to understand yourself better. Take yourself on a solo date. It doesn't even have to be like a date. It could be a solo day in your house. Don't call anyone, hardly speak to the family. If you live on your own, great. And just take time with yourself to do things that you enjoy. Try and limit social media and see what you actually like to do. If you like watching a film and then analyze it, do that. If you like read a book, if you want to listen to music all day, learn what you enjoy, because then you don't seek that validation in other people because they can't give you what you can give yourself. And that's on what? That's on period. And I have a bone to pick with social media. Genuinely, I have a bone to pick with social media. Social media is so toxic, and our parents said it really do be that damn phone. I think every new month, there's a new aesthetic. Clean girl aesthetic. We took it. Pilates princess, we took it. Y2K, we took it. Streetwear, we took it. How many more aesthetics do we have to go through before people actually know who they want to be? And I'm one of them. I'm gonna be the first to put my hand up. I have tried probably loads of different aesthetics in my time. And even ask me now what's my aesthetic. I don't know. I know what I like. I know what I enjoy. I know what I like to wear. Would I put it in aesthetic? No, I'll just say it's me. It's just me. But we try so hard to put ourselves into a box of trends, aesthetics, and flashy labels because we want to feel part of a shared community, which is a whole nother story in itself. We just want the validation of other people in said community. It just gives us another person that we want to be, another idol, another thing that we have to strive for, another beauty standard that we have to be acceptable to. And it's just like, we're tired. I went through all of this in secondary school. I'm not about to get into my 20s and you're about to start telling me who I need to be, what I need to do, and where I need to be. No, thank you. It's just a lie. It's genuinely just a lie, because now if you fit into this aesthetic, you're going to be that girl. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be this. You're going to be that. Everyone's going to love you. And mate, if you're a bad person, no matter what type of aesthetic you have, that ain't covering it up. That is not covering it up. I'm so sorry to tell you. So you gotta fix yourself first. Something I can really tell you, literally it. Because you will change yours to be the clean girl, the cleanest world ever done see. And next 6 months, now clean girl out, this is in. Now what you gonna do? You know what I mean? So when you don't live for aesthetics, when you don't live for trends, when you don't live for what is going on in the moment, you just become happier because whether what you love dies or not, you love it. So that's all that really matters. You like the way you dress, you like the way you talk, you like the way you act. So now if someone tells you this is what's in, you're gonna be like, mate, sod off. Genuinely, you're just gonna be like, what are you talking about? I don't care. This is who I am. Now, the biggest thing I've learned over my years is that you don't need to ask for permission. I used to ask for permission to wear clothes, try a different hairstyle, go to a place. I had to do all of these things to try and feel attractive, and I just never did until I actually flip the mirror and put it on myself instead of other people, because their opinion really does not matter to me. If you think I'm cringe, if you think I'm weird, if you think I'm this and that, the world is gonna keep spinning. Fortunately for me and you, the world is going to keep spinning. And it is very hard to say that. It's very hard to embody that. And there's still a lot of days that I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, what am I doing? But I promise you, it's like a wave of relief when that fear comes off your back, because you start to realize that that thing pushing you down is quite genuinely your own thoughts in yourself. If I could speak to that version of myself in those secondary school room who thought everyone had their life sorted out before me, I wouldn't tell her that she's going to be pretty. I wouldn't tell her she was going to lose weight. I would not tell her that she was going to be confident. And quite simply, I would just tell her, stop waiting, because life begins when you pour into yourself. And if you don't, you are going to be waiting a real long time. Sorry to tell you. Doesn't matter how much surgery, how much weight loss you do, how much makeup you put on, what hairstyle you try, it really doesn't matter. Until you're genuinely happy with the woman that you are, you're just never going to be happy. You're never going to be confident. You're never going to feel fulfilled. And in that sense, you got to stop waiting for that feeling, because you're chasing a feeling that's evidently not going to come unless you focus on you. And the one thing that actually changes your life is believing that you are enough. You were Faith. You was, whatever you want to say. You are enough. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stayed to the end, I love you. And if this resonates with you, please let me know your thoughts and comments down below. And I will see you next week in another video. Bye, guys.